Hey, well,
Hey, Sean.
we have a lot of World Cup to talk about.
We do.
A lot's gone down.
It really has.
Right now, England and Belgium are about to kick off, and we must be the only people in the world not that bothered about that game.
Nah, sure.
Pretty much every other game,
It's a cop-out.
every other game in the group stages has happened up to now, so we have all of that to talk about.
And there's some good shit happened.
Some mighty good shit has
It's
happened.
one of the best World Cups that I can remember.
All right, let's get to it. Where do you want to start? I mean, do we really want to go game by game, or do we want to just talk about Germany?
Game by game leading up to Germany, because Germany's recent.
Alright, let's pull up a list of games. I'm just kidding, I've got it here.
So well organised here.
Sorry, I can delete this bit, no one will know.
Give me a watch off table. That's terrible.
Yeah, right enough. Right, let's have a quick look at what England team has been picked for the Belgium game.
Okay.
Just as is topical, Pickford in goals, Stones.
They're going 3 at the back again.
They've got to stick that. Well, technically going 4 at the back because they've picked Eric Daire. Although technically that's 3 at the back, nothing in midfield. So they've got Phil Jones, Stones, Cahill, Eric Daire, anchor in the midfield, Trent and Danny Rose, the wing backs, Loftus-Cheek and Delph in middle of field, Rashford and Vardy up
the
front.
drop Kane.
Belgium have gone with Courtois,
Yeah.
Leon Dendonker, who was linked with Man United a while back, but seems to have not played very well since he didn't get his move. Boyata from Celtic is... you know what? Good on Boyata for making the team. Vermeulen...
Is he still at Barca?
I think he is. I'm glad to see he's actually not injured long enough to take the field.
Living the dream.
And then we've got Dembele, Fellaini, middle of the field, Chadley and Januzaj on the wings. That is no real defensive wing backs there. That's 2 attacking midfielders.
So who is at the top of the group faced next?
I will tell you in a minute. Hazard, Tielemans, attacking midfielders off Batshuayi. Very, very weakened compared to us. Still looks like it could beat England though.
That's Hazard's brother, isn't it?
That's
Eden
Thorgan Hazard.
Yeah.
Thorgan's Hazard brother, yeah. So, Colombia top their group. So they will face second place.
So it's almost like
Yeah.
Belgium want to face Colombia.
It's Japan who finished second on the fair play above Senegal. So it's whoever finishes top gets Japan, I think.
I think either Colombia or Japan will give England a game, to be quite honest. I've been biased, of course.
Yeah, so the team that finishes second in Group G is who Colombia will face, and that's between England and Belgium tonight. Whoever doesn't win tonight will face Colombia.
It could be like a Fowler-Ted game.
Over 75s, 5-a-side. It's the greatest game. That's the only game better than the games of this World Cup. Look, how good has this World Cup been? It has been brilliant. Although I will admit that the France-Denmark 0-0 was a big pile of pish.
Thankfully I missed that.
Deschamps, you need to hang your head in shame for not going out to just dominate Denmark, because Denmark, like I said, they were only a Christian Eriksen bit of magic better than Peru.
He has magic, to be fair.
He is pretty good.
The next Luka Modric, after Luka Modric, that's been Luka Modric.
Alright, so we stopped off at the end of match day 1, so we've got to go to match day 2, which means we're going 2 games back if you want to go through them all. I mean, we could do very quickly and look at just who did well. Russia beat Egypt 3-1. That was Egypt didn't have much to go. Like they tried, but they don't have enough up front. They basically were relying on Salah to do it all for them.
Salah is not even properly match fit.
No, so
he's come back from injury. To be fair to him.
Portugal
Poor fucker.
got a 1-0 win over Morocco. Morocco, I'm disappointed in Morocco. They have a lot of quality attacking midfielders.
That was Ronaldo, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was.
Who else?
They've got a lot of quality attacking midfielders, but no strikers.
Yeah.
So they're good in possession. They dominated Iran in the game they lost, and they created plenty of chances against Portugal, but just
couldn't put them away.
Can't put them away. Uruguay with another
Suarez.
stunning 1-0 win for Uruguay, and
They're the Arsenal of international teams.
The old Arsenal of international
Yeah.
teams. Oh, just thinking about their centre back options, you just kind of go, oh, just one of you's go to Liverpool. Actually, just funny saying that because one of them used to play for Liverpool.
Which one?
Coates.
Oh yeah,
He's there too. Anyway,
God bless his wee cotton socks.
you know, Spain, Iran. Diego Costa fluked in a goal, and Iran should have
Iran are
scored.
really unlucky.
They tried really hard.
Yeah.
Fair play to Queiroz, he got serious
I'm
work
kind
done.
of an Iran fan there this past while.
Yeah, it was a good job. Denmark, Australia, once again Christian Eriksen getting the goal for them.
Didn't see that game.
Australia got a penalty.
This commitment of mine, that job thing,
There's
just get in the way.
the job. It's too many games during the day. We just got to quit. Just quit.
You guys need to start paying us to do this.
You need to stop asking. Stop asking. All right, quit it. France with a shitty 1-0 win over Peru. They were again. France look like they should be doing more. You know what I mean?
It's like a dormant volcano.
Yeah, but
Could erupt, but then again couldn't.
it could just do nothing. Croatia battered and all over the place Argentina, and you know what? Let's talk about this game because this game was a big deal.
That was my second favourite game of this so far.
You know that Argentina that he went out with a back three, and he picked Tagliafico as the left centre back. Tagliafico is known for his attacking ability at left back. What he was doing at centre half when you have a guy like Marcos Rojo available to you.
It does make you question who picked the team.
Well, I can tell you now, the coach picked that team, and because that's
he didn't pick the next one.
He didn't pick the next one. They Argentina were horrible. You know what? They gifted at least 2 of those goals, possibly 3 if you include how bad Otamendi was when he tried to close down Luka Modric, and Modric turned him without having to do anything other than turn slightly in the opposite direction and smash a ball from 25 yards into the net.
But a Modric magic, he's been phenomenal.
Modric has been brilliant. Like it just, well, the thing about this game is Croatia knew what they were about. Lots of fouls, unbelievable amounts of fouls. I don't know how many they like Rakitic just trips whoever gets away from him, and the ref just doesn't book him.
Oh, you again? Don't do that.
It's like in rugby, you get penalised for persistent infringements, but he would have been not only sinned, but he would have been sent off.
Maybe he was protected by VAR.
It's so weird.
That be.
Well, like Croatia's first goal, Rebic should have been sent off for that stomp on the ankle, and the reason that you kind of know it was bad is because if you look at the ball position, he is way away from the ball.
Yeah,
like it's one thing to say you missed the ball, but he is nowhere near the ball, and it's very bad.
Modric's goal
was class.
Yeah.
The last goal, it was like a 5-a-side tournament.
Oh, they walked.
Well, they just walked it in.
Yeah, anybody could have done it.
Disgraceful. So, Argentina were disgraceful. They picked a shit team, and when I saw it, I thought that is just awful. Like, what was he picking? Like we talked this before. Portugal have a structure. They're not brilliant. They've got problems here and there, but they've got a structure. They've got a tight 4-4-2.
They're a team. They play like a team.
They've got a tight 4-4-2. And Ronaldo is their finisher. Ronaldo doesn't need to come into midfield to pick up the ball like Messi does for Argentina. Like, what they're expecting Messi to do is to be the ball playing midfielder, the number 10 and the striker, and maybe a winger too,
and a centre half.
You don't want to be asking Messi to do everything, because Messi is like Ronaldo. He plays in bursts because he can do that magic in a burst. And what you kind of do is you need a team built to get the ball as far as him, and then he will do that kind of. But he will do that bit of magic.
It is almost like keeper collects the ball, right? Where's Lionel at?
Yeah, I mean, like that's just no way to play. It's
Otamendi has been very poor.
Well, Otamendi is very poor,
considering he had a decent season for City.
But again, it's
or shitty.
The way City play. They put so much pressure on teams that he doesn't have a pile to do other than sweep up balls that get cleared by the other team
and foul. Dirty bastards.
But you know what? Another player they didn't pick for this game was
Di Maria.
No, they obviously took out Di Maria because he was horrible in the previous game. Ever Banega is their best ball playing midfielder. In fact, he's their only ball playing midfielder.
Yeah.
No one has ever accused Mascherano of being a ball playing midfielder. We know what Mascherano does, and that's he will win the ball back, and if he doesn't win the ball back, he just kicks you.
Mascherano's best years are long behind him, though.
They're about 4 years behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is playing. There's a reason he's playing in China and not in Spain still.
5-a-side football in China. That's what I like to look at.
So like I said, they were awful, and Brazil was Costa Rica 2-0 to Brazil.
They left it lit.
They left it lit, but Costa Rica are very strong defensively, and you know they don't like teams coming through them. You know, I've told you before about the Chelsea back three.
Yeah.
With the wing backs and the three in midfield, it's a very tight system. It's Italian. It's the Catenaccio, the chain link. So you look at the shape of it. We've got your three, your two wing backs, and your three in front. It's like the shape of a link from a chain.
You can't play through it.
It's very hard to get through, and it's very effective. And they can use on the counter too, because you've got your wing backs can spring.
It's hard to watch though if you're.
It's tough, but you know what? Brazil didn't. Phil Coutinho scored again, and Neymar scored at the end. And Neymar looked like he when he was celebrating at the end that he was the one who scored the game breaking goal.
He looked like he won the World Cup. To be quite honest, what's he crying about?
He is such a dick.
Get up,
Oh,
arsehole. Right, what's next?
Come on, man. This is serious stuff.
I'm being serious. This isn't arsehole.
Nigeria responded from their loss in their first game to Croatia by beating Iceland 2-0.
They were very impressive.
Nigeria have been very good this World Cup. They just haven't maybe the decision making, I think, of their sort of main man in midfield, John Obi Mikel, has not been good. But you can see what they're doing. You know what they're doing. Their two central midfielders, Itobo and Ndidi, have been brilliant. They cover so much ground there, and Itobo is lightning fast. And do you know what I found out just the other day? He's going to be at Stoke next year. Stoke bought him before the World Cup. Stoke in the Championship. I guarantee you he's probably thinking that might have been a bad idea, because there's a few teams in the Premiership looking at him, I'd say now.
I've been left on the phone and sacking that agent. Quite honest.
Anyway, he's going to be Stoke. He's very quick. And what I found what really annoyed me about Nigeria's loss to Croatia was that Tobo was skinning Rakitic and Modric, because they didn't play with a holding midfielder. They just played with the two of them in the first game. He's so quick, he would just go past them and they would just trip him, and the ref would just let it go the whole game, and it was getting really on my nerves. But I thought their central midfielders were very good. You know, Ndidi from being at Leicester, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But anyway, they responded to their loss too. The funny thing is, this one actually did Argentina a favour, because it kind of knocked Iceland back, prevented Iceland from taking control of the group or moving into along with Croatia on 2 wins. So this has kind of opened the door for Argentina this game. We're jumping on to the next game, which was Serbia-Switzerland.
That was a good game.
This was a brilliant game.
Yeah.
And
just end to end, both going for it.
Both teams going for it. Serbia are more physical. Switzerland looked more technical.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into the politics of the celebrations, or do you care? Not that bothered.
Not that bothered.
Look,
I know there was a lot of song and dance made about it afterwards, but then sure, once it was investigated, they decided to do nothing. So
your personal identity is important to you, so we don't need to really start talking about what personal identities they decide that they feel, and if that's the way those guys feel, it's hard not to be emotional in situations like that. Let's talk about the most important thing.
They turned the game around. They were 1-0.
Those second half goals from Xhaka, what a strike.
Yes. And
then Shaqiri making that break at the end. I remember a few weeks ago, I was like, I'm not sure Shaqiri's quick enough. By God, that was the 90th minute. And people were wondering, is he fit enough? 90th minute, he goes from the halfway line the whole way in, and when he gets there, he has a powerful left foot, and everyone's thinking he's smashing this, and he just touches it around the keeper.
It was a beautiful finish.
He just passes it past him, and I'm thinking, you know what, if Liverpool are getting him for about 12 to 15 million, no bother, because
I did greenlight that 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said that's going to happen.
That could be done. That is
he's heading to.
Do we need to break down Belgium beating the snot out of Tunisia 5-2?
I don't think so. Belgium showed the world the kind of team that Tunisia was. England made Tunisia look very good.
Well, what Tunisia did against England was they started pressing and then they dropped deep. And when teams drop deep, I think against England have no idea what to do. Whereas these guys have players who can produce out of nothing. Belgium, and they got a couple of they got a penalty, and Hazard's took it away, and once they went a goal up, they were able to pick Tunisia off.
Yeah, Lukaku
Now,
was
they
strong as well.
They did concede a few chances to Tunisia, which kind of shows you that Belgium are not great defensively.
Be interesting. Still don't rank their coach. Although I do think he made some good decisions bringing in some good coaches for the team. For example, Thierry Henry.
Well, if you say so.
Oh, you see, I think it's going to bring the best out of Lukaku, and as Lukaku is currently contracted with Manchester United, I'm happy.
Well, that's it. Lukaku's good. Lukaku was with him at Everton, wasn't he?
Martinez, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they liked each other. They were in a good relationship.
But once, at the time Martinez was announced as the Belgian manager, it was actually during a game, and it was said to Lukaku as he came off the pitch, and you could see his face in pure disbelief with a smile, as in shocked, but looked happy. It looked happy. Yeah, it looked happy.
Alright, so the next game was
Just
South Korea, Mexico. Mexico once again winning their 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
You know, Vela, Hernandez got the goals.
Chikorito.
Conceded late on to a very good. They kind of just lost the ball in some.
Consolation was over at that stage.
Yeah, so we're skipping on then to the Germany-Sweden game, which was insane.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Germany
insane.
made it look very difficult. Sweden were good.
Germany made changes, but they did the same thing they did against Mexico, which is to slowly pass the ball across the pitch, back across the pitch, back across the pitch, and then they realised they can't cross it because they don't have anyone really good in the air in the box.
So they passed it back across the pitch again.
So then they passed it back across the pitch again.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually they passed it back across the pitch again. And
if you're a betting man, you can nearly guess what the next action was.
Was it to pass the ball across the pitch?
Yeah.
There you go. So they were dominating possession, but they were kind of going nowhere with it. And when they made a change to move Werner, who's one of their quickest players and is a former winger, out to the wing to run at the fullback, and the fullback was stupid that he dived in on him. You know,
yep.
Lost his head,
panicked,
dived in on him, gave away a free kick, gave away a couple of free kicks in that position, and eventually Toni Kroos was just like, well, I'm 95th minute. The utter balls in the man to try it, but
and pull it off. Yeah, that was fucking something else. He showed his class.
We'll come back to Germany because we have a lot to talk about them.
Yeah.
All right.
You can get in the way that easy. Germany,
England, Panama. England 6, Panama 1.
What? I don't know what you say there. It looks like England been practicing their penalties.
Well, it looks like Harry Kane has.
Can he take all 5?
Don't know.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know what? You should definitely send him up for the first one when they go to penalties for the next round. You know, take the pressure off and let him smash home one.
Oh no, sure, they always must let on. He should take the last one.
But by that stage, you might not get to take one.
I know.
You might have missed the All right, Panama were.
Does have Southgate
Panama wanted to be really physical, and it was just like VAR was just like picking up all of their shit, and it was just like penalty.
It was like a German suplex in the box. What do you mean it's a penalty?
It was shocking, and you know, Harry Kane 2 penalties and a deflection to get his hat trick. Jesse Lingard's goal's good.
That was
very good.
Yeah, he's come on leaps and bounds. I'm looking forward to
the
season.
Stone's great header to
first one
to open the score.
Yeah, it was a good header.
But his second one was brilliant because England had a set piece routine worked out. Yeah. Pass it short to Henderson. Henderson chips it over. Harry Kane, I think it was, or maybe it was Maguire,
that was Kane,
knocks it back across goal, and it was almost like England planned this out so much that they had Stones behind Sterling for when Sterling inevitably missed his one-on-one chance with the goalkeeper.
I don't think so. My theory was that worked. Actually, I have to give Jordan Henderson that little pat in the back. That was actually a great ball by him.
Well, like I've told you before, in space he can do that.
Yeah. Ball across. Sterling was to put it away. Stone seen it was about to happen, so he was running in to start celebrating with Sterling, who was inevitably going to score, and just so happens that it came out in front of him when he stuck his head to it.
Because what Stone should have been thinking was that there's a fair chance Sterling's going to head this straight at the keeper.
Well, they train together to play for City.
Jesus. Yeah, anyway, Stones tucks it away after Sterling heads it off the keeper. And England win 6-1 in a fairly easy trot. And it's after this that the England hype bandwagon started to roll.
Oh yeah, they're bringing it home.
Choo choo. I know I said bandwagon, but now I'm going with the hype train.
It's this is it's back to the same thing again. As I said before, I'm a fan of Southgate because he keeps them with their
grounded.
Yeah, feet on the ground, and it seemed to not only work on the players but it worked on the country as well. They weren't overhyping their chances,
and unlike maybe one or two tabloids that seem out to get Raheem Sterling for some unknown reason.
Yeah,
most of the papers were behind them. The media was behind them.
Yeah,
which is kind of a thing that Southgate's looking for.
And then they whoop rather poor on the day Panama, and
poor in general Panama.
Next thing, half of England are booking off the World Cup final because they want to go on the beer, and you know how this goes.
It's just look, patriotism is blind.
It is, but here, look.
Well, sorry, patriotism is blinding. It's not totally blind.
It's not going to go the way you want.
You might want to beat somebody better than Panama and Tunisia before you start getting overexcited.
The thing is, see if they actually beat a weakened Belgium team tonight.
That's going to be some... Oh, man. Forget a choo-choo train. We're going to be like jumbo jet height.
Yeah, it's going to be Air Force One type shit.
Oh, that's going to be... If you get Air Force One, it's probably going to be Donald Trump's private plane. Do you know what? I just imagine Donald Trump. He's like moved into the White House and went, "My houses are nicer than this." All right, so Japan and Senegal. This is where Senegal lost their place in the next round.
It was a good game.
They both
competed.
They took the lead twice. They lost it twice, and Japan fought back twice, and it's this game here that made the decider. I know they have another game to play in this. Anyway, had a load of chances coming off the right. Yeah, we're getting there. Nagatomo attacking down that left side is such a great player to watch. He's so quick.
Would you take him in the Scouse jersey?
Well, he's about 30, so probably won't.
I suppose.
But you know what? Bring him in anyway.
Yeah.
Who needs defensive strength? Just lots of running. Maybe could play right back.
I've always meant.
It could be back up to
I've
Trent.
always meant to ask you this. This is going back. This is turning the clock back. Rafa brought back Robbie Fowler. Was that a gimmick? Was that serious? Or
he had no money. He needed someone.
And he thought Robbie Fowler, who was off
but you
the,
notice
off
they did
the
that.
drugs.
They did this a few times. They brought back Craig Bellamy. Remember when he was like nearly 34, 35?
Bellamy could still do it.
They had Bellamy in his late 20s and then Bellamy in his 30s as well.
Scumbags don't lose their way. He could still play, but Fowler,
look at the time.
Honestly, I think they thought there was drugs in the fucking changing room. They weren't sure who was at it, and they brought back the sniffer dog himself, and he wasn't long finding it.
That's a shit theory. It was just they had no money at the time. This was I think around the time that they were really, really short of money.
Was that like 2007 or something?
They were
But
look, you'll talk to a lot of Liverpool fans who'll tell you that the financial situation before the current owners bought them out wasn't as bad as it was. They were days from being in administration.
Yeah, but you see, the Liverpool fans that I've talked to before this previously claim that they brought back another world-class striker, which left me bamboozled, and I don't think the conversation went on any longer.
Who really thought that he was still world class? There was a time when he maybe would have been, but he was never. He just didn't have the fitness to be.
He didn't progress on the talent they had, and by the way, those fans know who they are. I'll get you some
shoutouts.
I'll get you on Twitter, bitches.
Alright, so let's move on to Poland losing 3-0 to Colombia.
Poland really had a shocking tournament.
Well, do you know what? I heard that Poland didn't have a friendly for a year because they didn't want to lose any games and they didn't want it to affect their ranking.
But surely if the players...
See, if it doesn't affect the world ranking, they get a good draw for the Euros.
But surely the players not gelling, bonding, playing together, they're going to turn up to the fucking plane and go, what's your name again?
Robert Lewandowski?
Are they going to have like
name
tags? Hi, my name is
Slim Shady. They've been rubbish. They've been crap. Pretty much all tournament. They've been pretty average. Not average, they're terrible. Colombia were very good in this game. James Rodriguez pass for Cuadrado's goal. What a pass.
Yeah, Cuadrado's having a fantastic tournament.
Quintero has having a good tournament.
Yeah.
Quintero is an interesting character. He's on loan from Porto because he can't get in the Porto team because he's just... Well, I think people think he's another James because he's a left-footed attacking midfielder, but he's a totally different type of player. He's a guy who likes to pick the ball up and make passes with his left foot. He doesn't like to be... He's not able to run and dribble the way James is. He's not nearly at the same level, but he is a good passer.
I'm not a betting man because I'm in remission, but I would say he'll not have much trouble finding a starting spot after this World Cup.
Yeah, well, what did you think as an ex... What was that as an ex-Man United player?
I never dated him.
What did you think of the finish from Falcao outside his foot?
It was beautiful.
It's the second best
outside
of the
foot.
foot
It really
finish.
frustrated me that he didn't do it in England, because whenever he was signed, was bouncing. It was a world-class signing as far as I'm concerned. The first world-class striker we signed since we signed the boy wonder Ryan Rooney.
Well,
Rooney.
Rooney world class.
Yeah.
For what, like a week?
Look at the
2
records,
weeks?
bitch.
Huh?
Look at
What
the
records? What records?
Look at the goals.
Are there that many?
Yeah, there's a few
Is it many as Van Nistelrooy?
more.
But like,
When I scored 150 in 5 years.
okay, and when did Rooney do? In 5 years.
He's a boy.
Oh, right, okay. Right, so, sure.
So yeah, picking a kid. I just think he's so tough.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh, Wayne Rooney jokes all over the place. And we're on to match day 3. Woohoo! That didn't take long. Saudi Arabia beat Egypt 2-1 with a couple of
That was
penalties.
shocking considering Saudi Arabia were so bad in the first game.
It was really shocking. Egypt are pretty poor. Although one of the penalties is he kind of like sticks his leg into the Egyptian as opposed to actually getting fouled. You're just kind of going, it's kind of shitty. But they got 2 penalties. They missed one, scored one, and they got a late winner. Egypt's only threat, Salah, looks like he doesn't want to be there. Remind me to come back to Salah. There's some interesting shit going down with him.
Okay.
We've got to go through the rest of these games.
Good shit or bad shit?
Very bad for Egypt if it's
Oh
if
yeah,
it's what I hear.
I'll remind you then. So
Alright, so Uruguay 3, Russia 0. Take that, Russia. That's what a real team looks like.
that's what I was banking.
Now, just to remind
Not
you
the scoreline,
of
but the game, they just didn't have a threat.
they're just different side. Like Russia started with Artem Zuba up front, and he'd been torturing teams with his size, but he came up against Diego Godin, and that's different kettle of fish. Like, he's one of the best centre halves in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
like Coates' time at Liverpool was destroyed by a really bad injury. It made him miss a year, and then he couldn't get back in the team because they basically replaced him.
Who
And
did they replace him with?
probably Lovren.
Okay.
He's gone out and he's had a
I'm not going to scoff Lovren. He's had a couple of decent games.
he's had a kind of a career fix for himself. Coates, he's moved on and he's improved, because like all players really need like this game time
Yeah.
usually, and if you're good enough, you will show it. Iran and Portugal 1-1.
Oh yeah. I was really on the Iran train here. VAR though, I know is a topic we're going to get to, but I don't think they got anything right in this match. Charisma,
What a goal!
what a goal is right.
Like I said, they can you imagine? They must have thought that Falcao's outside of the right foot finish was going to be the best one.
Yeah,
of
no.
that round.
You know what? If you didn't see it, just Google outside the foot finish by Charisma. He scored 5 or 6 in his career. He's done it before. Same wing, you know.
It's his thing.
Yeah. Stole the show with it. It was fantastic.
Great goal.
Um,
I wonder, Ronaldo, was he annoyed going, how could you score a goal better than my free kick?
he actually celebrated with a teammate, which I was shocked. I'm thinking maybe.
Although I think him and Quaresma are buddies, aren't they?
Maybe.
I
The
think
only person I've ever seen him celebrate with in the Madrid team is Marcelo. But normally when they're celebrated one with Marcelo assisting him and him scoring. If he don't score, Ronnie ain't happy.
Yeah, so the penalty at the end was
not a penalty.
Nah,
I watched it. No,
not for me either.
No,
but it was a bit like Liam Brady said that they'd got so much wrong with VAR. They were like, "Can we just give them this one? Just give it to them."
You've earned up enough points.
You've earned up enough points to get a free penalty.
Now the hot topic from that game: Ronaldo's yellow card.
Look, I didn't think it was because of the reaction of the player. If you get elbowed properly, But
it didn't connect properly. But the intent was there.
So, well, see, the way I kind of think of it is, we've seen Ronaldo over the years go one way and then go the other way around a defender, and he does that where he kind of puts his arm over the shoulder and he leverages himself past and he kind of pushes you out of the way. It's entirely possible that a guy like Ronaldo was sneaking an elbow in there too.
It wasn't this case, because if as you say, he does it all the time, it didn't work here. If you watch the replay from the front, he gets body checked, he stops, looks at the ref, realises the ref's giving him absolutely fuck all, and then straight away you see the daggers of Ronaldo looking at the back of the defender's head, charges past him, doesn't look like a lot of contact. Mm-hmm. Player goes down very easily, Gusto
I just think the way,
same.
the way he reacts isn't the way you react when you get an elbow.
No, it wasn't an elbow, but he meant to make contact. There was a reaction.
The thing,
he should have walked. It should have been a red card.
The thing we agree on is that no matter you come at it from the side of he did nothing or he did something,
yes,
the yellow card is a cop out. Because if he did nothing, the yellow card is just so that you've made use of the VAR. You've got to do something.
If he's done nothing, a yellow card is injustice. He shouldn't have a yellow card.
If he's done nothing, he's got to book the other guy for diving, maybe, for simulation.
Yeah.
However, if he genuinely thinks, if he really, really thinks Ronaldo has done that, he's got to get him a red card.
But you can see Ronaldo's face as has been reviewed. He was panicking. He knew he fucked up. Even Ronaldo was shocked to see a yellow card.
I wasn't sure if he was panicking or if he just looked like he was annoyed that they dare question him.
I seen fear. I seen fear in his eyes.
How dare you question Ronaldo?
I can smell fear. But yeah, no, I think even he was shocked that it was yellow.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the match report to see what the referee put it down as.
Yeah. Alright, we're skipping on to Morocco, Spain. 2-2. Morocco finally scoring and learning how to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah. Pretty gay. He's not having a good tournament.
Or at least he made some saves.
This is true.
But you know what? This showed you, like, Morocco were a good team. They just could not get it together in this to put all those chances they were making. But they kind of, they made chances against Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering maybe Spain are not quite as good as people might think.
No, they're not. We spoke about in the last pod. They dropped their manager the week off the games. It just can't work.
It's got to be a problem. I mean, we both agreed with it.
Yeah, it just can't work.
Because, we're not Spanish fans. we're not that bothered about how well they do.
No, just give Ramos the...
Alright, so... Australia, Peru.
Armbar.
2-0 to Peru. This is where Peru showed what they were all about. Guerrero got his goal. Good to see. Unfortunately, they're going out. Australia's going out. There was really a dead rubber. But Peru wanted to show what they were about because I thought they were unlucky against France and they were unlucky against Denmark, and they were like, I was like, and they just were like, no, we know Australia had a chance of going through, but they were just like, no, we were showing what we're about.
Yeah.
And Australia, you have to be good enough to beat us, and Australia just weren't good enough. They threw Tim Cahill on at the end. Australia.
Novelty.
Attaboy,
go on there now and get a wee clap.
What? Like, why?
Well, he must be nearly 40.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's long over. Alright, Denmark, France, 0-0. Oh my god, the only 0-0 of the tournament. What is wrong with you guys? Jesus.
I wouldn't mind. France have some good attacking talent out.
They didn't, people say, you might put out a weakened team, but let you pull up the team here.
Who we got?
Have a look at that team. That's their weakened team.
Right, straight away I see Giroud.
You see Giroud, you see Griezmann, Dembele, Lamar, Nzonzi, Kante, Varane,
That weekend team's nearly as good as the strongest team.
That weekend team is as good as England's team. it's just like any team with N'Golo Kante, 100 million Dembele, 90 million Lamar, Steven Nzonzi's a very good player. Griezmann, god damn it, Griezmann. Giroud, complain what you want about him, he's a good target man.
Yes.
Right? That's a good side. And you look at what Denmark put out, and you're kind of going, like, you know, they still put out basically the same team. Like, they rested a few lads, but Sisto, Eriksson, they're their main guys. I mean, they moved Christensen into the middle of the field, I think, just because they only needed a draw to go through Denmark.
But Denmark, if they wanted to put out a weekend team and a B team, just take out Eriksson straight away. B team.
It is a B team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, that's it. All right, so Nigeria, Argentina saving themselves late.
They didn't deserve it. I don't think they did.
Nigeria had the chances to beat them, and they didn't take them. Igalo was just not been good enough for them. He came off the bench and he changed it a bit because he's a big physical presence and he kind of pushed their defence about, but he's just not. The one thing Argentina did right in this game was to pick flipping Ever Banega, a midfielder who can pass the ball to Messi in positions where he can do damage.
I think Messi put that team sheet out, to be quite honest.
We could have, it doesn't matter. If it did, well done.
The coach really didn't look, he didn't celebrate with anybody.
Do you remember Ronaldo coaching the Portuguese team in the European final?
It was
shambles. Is it a bit like that? Hey, they won the Euros.
I know, but it is no part because of him making a show of himself.
But you know what, like, they had the players like Musa. You know, the two midfielders worked their socks off. Moses scored a nice penalty.
Did.
They had opportunities.
They should have won it.
They should have won it. The one thing I'd say is Messi's goal to set Argentina off. That's a goal.
To touch the control of the ball.
2 touches. Like,
just the on one off his left foot.
Before the ball hits the ground, he's controlling on his foot, and then he's smashing the net. Hey, that teenage keeper, although not, look, he's a bit shaky. He pulled off some good saves too.
He did.
He's got that long sort of thing like Courtois, very tall, and he can get across the goals.
The one on goal was quite special too. The volley.
Marcus Rose volley.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
It took a United man.
How happy was he when Messi jumped on his back right after he did it? He was like, "Oh my God, Messi's celebrating with me! Yes, this is the greatest moment of my life."
He'll go back to United now and look for a new contract and a pay raise.
Marcus Rose family, I think it was his mum, was saying that they saw the goal go in and they saw it was someone with the right foot. And it was only when the camera panned in that they realised it was Marcus Rowe. Even they didn't think he did it. Alright. Croatia, Iceland. Croatia went 3 wins for 3.
Croatia are very impressive.
Horrible.
It's going to take a good team or a bad game.
Do you know what? Only the 11 fouls for Croatia in this game.
That's good.
It's hey, they had 22 against Argentina. Now, if you can out-foul Argentina by that much, that's
taking the game to the opponent.
Oh man,
I like it. Let
me show you here.
They're going to be dirty bastards. Well, we'll be even more dirty bastards.
But it's like they didn't have a defensive midfielder, so just like, would you start tripping people?
Dirty bastard.
Like 16 fouls to 22 in the Argentina game for them, and then I'm wondering, it's got to be pretty high for this because I thought they gave away a lot of fouls in this game too. 20 fouls against Nigeria. Like,
Nigerians are big men though.
Oh, Jesus, you're a big man.
Big man.
No.
See, I'm a big man.
It's sarcasm.
Oh, I thought so.
I'm disappointed in myself. Sarcasm's just not my.
You should have drank a ton of Monster Energy drink.
We should totally be drinking Monster Energy when we're doing this. Right, so we're moving on to the next game. Mexico getting the pants beat off them by Sweden.
They got whooped.
Well, do you know what happened here? From what I could see,
did they just give up?
No, Mexico like to counterattack on you. They like to do they like when Germany sits there passing the ball back and forward in front of them, and they just lock up their defence. Centre midfielders work their socks off. They win the ball back. They spring with their 2 wingers.
So Sweden just didn't lose the ball to them?
No, Sweden sat back, and they were like, "Now you have to play football." And Mexico were like, shit. Funny enough, there's a lot of there's a lot of issues with this coach in Mexico. They don't like the coach. They loved him after the German game, but they didn't like him in the build-up to the tournament because even though he gets them results, when it goes wrong, it tends to go spectacularly wrong. Like they got beat 4-1 by Germany's B team in the Confederations Cup.
Yeah, but Germany should have brought the B team.
Well, we'll get to that.
I'm dying to get to that.
So they got hammered by Germany. They've had a few bad losses, and as you can see, 3-0 loss to Sweden. And that Sweden team is not that good.
But you have to give credit to Sweden. They've done good for what they have.
They've got two big men up front, and they're just like, lads, you know what to do.
But if that's the tactic, and you've worked it out, why hasn't anybody else?
Well, the thing is, it's
who's their top men again?
Marcus Berg and Ola Toivonen.
Yeah, they are quite large.
Big lads.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going on to another amazing result, which was South Korea beating Germany 2-0.
South Korea should just go home and celebrate with their...
They are going home.
Fans.
Celebrate. Go celebrate with the Mexican fans.
You need to finish. They need to go home back to South Korea and celebrate like they've just brought the World Cup home with them. Well done, lads. That's probably like one of their greatest achievements as a football nation.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
And do you know what? They did the same thing Mexico did. They just sat back, packed their box, and Germany passed the ball across the pitch. And then they passed the ball across the pitch some more.
I really want to slag Germany so bad.
The amount of counter-attacks that South Korea had against them, they could have been 5-0 up if they had better decision makers in the last third.
That's ridiculous, though.
It was.
But because I left work, it was 0-0, and I rushed home to see what the score would be, and I got on too late. Game was over. I caught the glimpse of the TV, my eye 2-0. Turned away, and my neck nearly snapped. I turned that hard back again to see that it was actually South Korea.
As soon as we want to get into this, right? Let's just jump through these last couple of games. Switzerland, Costa Rica, 2-2.
Yeah.
Costa Rica didn't have a whole lot to do. Switzerland just needed to make sure they finished.
Well done,
well in the group.
Well done.
Well done, Switzerland. Got through. Serbia, Brazil, 2-0. Comfortable enough win for Brazil.
Yeah,
there was a 10-minute spell when Serbia looked like they were going to get the game. They played
15 minutes into the second half.
But they weren't getting that many shots. There was that one spill from Alisson. Should bring his price tag down a bit with that one spill.
He knew what he was doing. He was on the phone with Perez that day.
You see that?
Alisson,
I'm only 60 million now.
We need to bring that price down.
And so he, they didn't make they had a couple of chances. There was that header from Mitrovic, and Serbia have a lot of big guys, but there's something like a 4-inch average height difference over Brazil.
They didn't use it to their advantage though, because Brazil were comfortable. Apart from that spell.
But what happened at the end of that 10-minute spell? Brazil scored, and from a set piece.
Yeah.
And do you know what? This is all Serbia's fault because Serbia were trying to do that wrestling stuff, where they're wrestling people in the box, and Mitrovic fell over and he left the space for Thiago Silva to be in front of his man, slam it home. And then they were going to ask VAR to go back over it. All that VAR would have proved is that Mitrovic, you were the one who started the whole handle and fell over. And once Brazil got 2 up, they just kept the ball. Coutinho is playing well for them as the number 10.
He's having a good tournament.
Neymar's not doing a lot, but Coutinho's the playmaker, so it's working well for them.
I think it was the first game in the last 12 that he hasn't scored.
What I thought was interesting though was they brought off Fernandinho. No, they brought on Fernandinho for Paulinho, and that's 2 holding midfielders. Like Paulinho's role in the team is to just break forward like that and get a goal.
Took his goal well too.
Well, that's his entire role in the team. He's not the greatest footballer. It's why he never worked at Spurs. His role
it's amazing how
his role is not to be a footballer or to be a holding midfielder. Like he can run around and he's got good energy to close people down, but his main role is to break forward when teams open up. Like say their defence tracked Neymar and Jesus when they moved, and it left a huge hole for him to run into.
That's his role. He's the only footballer to go to the graveyard in China and come back better.
Come back better. Anyway, he took his goal well, but what they did was they took him off and they brought on Fernandinho and went with 2 proper holding midfielders, and they just shut Croatia down after the second goal.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was game over. Alright, we're jumping next to
today's games.
Well, yeah, so Senegal, Colombia. Colombia scored late, even without Messer James. getting taken off about half an hour in. Do you know what? Senegal have no one else. I watched Senegal. They had chances. They have no one else to blame but themselves for going out.
You watched this game?
I watched some of it. Keeping an eye on it. But
Okay.
they were no good. I just Poland suddenly decided to start playing, beat Japan. Although I think Japan might want to look at themselves. When you kind of look at, they went out with a very unusual. They didn't go out maybe with all their best players, and so
Poland, you were horrible.
Poland, you were horrible at tournament. But I suppose you got a goal. You got.
Who
something.
scored it for them?
Not Lewandowski.
He'll not be happy that another Polish player finished top goal scorer for him.
And now,
Yes,
you know what? England and
such a dick.
all right. So England and Belgium are on right now. That's the last of the games. Let's get straight into this. Where do you want to go first? Mo Salah in Egypt, or do you want to go to Germany?
Go to Salah.
All right. So what do you know about Salah and his issues with the Egyptian FA?
Sweet fuck all. I couldn't care less, but I'm interested here now.
Okay. So according to what I've heard, there was an issue. Well, not what I've heard. This is very common knowledge. Happened before the tournament. There was an issue between Salah and the Egyptian FA, where the Egyptian FA allowed their main sponsor, which is WE, which is a phone company, to put Salah's face on a giant airplane. So they used his image on an advertisement for We. Salah is sponsored by Vodafone, not by We. So this caused a lot of problems for Salah because someone else other than Vodafone is using his image, and a rival to Vodafone essentially.
Yeah.
So
well, you can understand whether some people would be upset.
Well, yeah. So
Sure, there's
they're
a lot of money changing
They're
hands.
now affecting Salah's livelihood, and they did this full knowing that they couldn't do it, but the Egyptian FA did it. Now, why the Egyptian FA would want to upset their best player before the World Cup? You wonder. That sounds like a stupid idea.
They didn't give a fuck, or
No.
they were really, really dumb.
Well, this is what people think. Salah is such a hero in Egypt, and that Egypt's government is so unpopular that people knew that the last election was not a real election. So instead of writing down that they were voting for the opposition, they wrote Mo Salah's name and ticked it on so many ballot boxes he would have come in second at the Egyptian presidential election.
Tell me this: was the Liverpool fan spamming another
No,
another poll?
no, we weren't spamming a poll because it was an actual election in Egypt.
Wouldn't surprise me.
They wrote his name. Hey, look,
Them guys
Salah-
don't work. They're on the dole.
Shut up. I work with you. Shut up.
Do you? Do you really? You watch the fucking football.
Better work more than you though.
You're still watching the football.
Hey. It's quality over quantity. I do
keep-
quality work.
You keep telling yourself, mate. So
How would you know?
back to the Salah story.
Back to the Salah story. Salah, unhappy about this. There was talk that he mightn't even go to the World Cup because they were messing with him so bad. But like I said, the Egyptian government is not popular, and they want Salah to be a spokesman for them, to turn the opinion of the people, because Salah's such a hero. Salah doesn't like the government though. He is a hero to the common man, not to the government.
Surely that.
So the government, though, being the government that isn't, like I said, it's a military dictatorship, I think, is the government over there. They basically can tell the Egyptian FA what to do. In fact, I'd say the head of the Egyptian FA is like in bed with the head of the.
Finish that sentence quick.
He's in league. He's in cahoots. Old timey phrases. He's in cahoots with the head of the Egyptian government. But the problem is they want to discredit Salah. They want to upset him until he does. It's almost like blackmail, until he does what they want. There was a story that they created this box where, in order to pay Egypt's debt, they asked everybody to contribute to this, everyone in the country to contribute a small amount into this box. They asked Salah to put a load of money into it. Salah said no, but they basically said that they would bring back mandatory military service and make Salah go join the army. and if he didn't join the army, he's technically a deserter in Egypt. So Salah put $1 million apparently into it.
Salah's seen that film Ali with Will Smith.
Yeah, well, look, they're supposedly, Salah is really unhappy with them, and what happened to, supposedly they formed for this because Abu Trika was the big star before him, and Abu Trika got treated very poorly by the Egyptian FA, and like I said, Salah's a hero to the common man and to the people who don't like the government, whereas the government wants Salah to be their buddy, and so they've got the Egyptian FA messing with Salah to basically do it, and so there's chat now that Salah didn't even celebrate his goal.
No, he didn't.
And you see when he had the chance to score a second, he was barely trying.
It didn't look like he was trying the whole tournament. Do you honestly think that the way that he was treated by the Egyptian FA, would he want to play for them?
The problem Salah has is Salah is very conscious of the fact that he's such a hero. Like I've told you before about him paying for hospitals, and he's paying for a school that teaches extremist versions of Islam. So that's the kind of guy. He's proud to be a Muslim, but he wants people to he wants a non-extremist version is being taught in the school that he's funding, and he's funding hospitals back in his hometown. So he's very conscious of that. Would he give up playing for Egypt if he thought it would affect those fans? He wouldn't want to let them down. That's the only thing. That's the only reason he would stay. As far as I know, Hector Cooper didn't even go back to Egypt after the game. Hector Cooper quit after the World Cup and disappeared back to Argentina.
I think Salah should probably run for president, win it, and then retire from the Egyptian FA.
But that's just vote for him. The elections might not exactly be perfectly fair.
Are you?
I'm not suggesting the Russians are doing it, because
are you suggesting
Russians
corruption?
don't really do that. Well, look,
this is not FIFA we're talking about.
Let's not get into Egyptian politics, because one, it's murky. Two, I don't know anything about it.
It's a no-fly zone. We don't do politics.
This is just what I've heard is the Salah story. Okay, that Salah might actually not return to play for Egypt again because they're messing with him so much. Oh, here was the other thing. They made him. They had him come to a meet and greet with what they thought was going to be some sponsors or something before the tournament, and of course he met the Chechnyan leader, who's just kind of a dodgy person, and Salah wouldn't want to be associated with him because he is not the kind of image Salah has. Salah's very much a uniter, non-extremist Muslim, this kind of this belief guy. Head of Chechnya, questionable man. There's some stuff you can find if you Google him.
You're so outraged by it, you can't get the words.
But he did not want to be there, and you can see in the pictures that they took with him standing next to Salah, and he's talking about how he's going to give Salah honorary citizenship to Chechnya, and Salah's just dead face going, wow.
Get me to the plane!
Who thought this up? Next, there was a party before their first game of the tournament. The Egyptian FA had a party where they brought a load of celebrities out to meet all the players.
And strippers.
And the players are like, we want to go to sleep because we are professional footballers and we have a game tomorrow. And apparently, in the middle of the party, they went up into Salah's bedroom and started come quick, we're all going to hang out with Salah, we're going to get photos taken with Salah, woohoo, party. That's one of the rumours, that they had a big party in the hotel and they were not waking him up in the middle of the night so that all the celebrity hanger-ons with the Egyptian FA could get photos of Salah.
I'm starting to feel sorry for the cunt, because
he's a high level.
He's dealing with Egyptians and he's dealing with Scouse. Fucking hell.
Hey, well, at least he's loved in Scousland. I mean, so much they might not even rob his house.
He's loved in Egypt too. Look, that's going for him.
Germany. That's the Egyptian FA though, not the people.
Germany.
Christ, Germany.
Yeah.
If they passed the ball across the pitch and across the other side of the pitch and then back again any more times, my eyes were going to get crossed. It was just over. It was a bit like watching a repetitive tennis match.
But they did it so beautifully.
The technique.
To the left, to the right.
The technique of getting the pass from one player to the other was great. And the technique from getting that ball back to them again was brilliant. But oh my God, so many passes just going across the pitch.
What went wrong?
The constant passing without ever going and looking to do anything. Oh, I'll tell you, they didn't bring the right squad of players
They won the Confederations Cup
with a B team.
with a very promising B team.
Oh yeah,
They took to Russia players that won
the World Cup.
in 2014
Yep.
that are all past their prime. Kadira can't do it no more. Arzel, Germany won. The only game they won was the one Arzel didn't play. Arzel, I'm actually surprised he was starting for Arsenal in the end up, and they gave him a new contract. They nearly had rid of him. Arzel wanted to move. He thought all these clubs coming for him. The only reason he signed a new long-term deal with Arsenal is because nobody would fucking buy him or give him a contract when his other one expired. Thomas Müller, he scored 5 goals in 2014. He scored 5 goals in 2010. His odds for this tournament were quite good. He only had 5 shots in the 3 games played.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to have a quick look here at the team that beat Mexico 4-1 in the semi-final of the Confederations Cup.
Go for it.
So, you had Ter Stegen in goals. Ter Stegen should have been in goals. Like, Neuer, we all know how good Neuer is, but he's been injured all year.
Neuer hasn't kicked the ball or been boots laced on a pitch since what, October? October?
Anyway, so at the back they had...
He went on merit.
At the back they had Kimmich, Rudiger, Ginter, Hector and Heinrichs as the wing backs. And Heinrichs is a good young attacking fullback. Hector's solid player, nothing spectacular, but a solid left back. He was obviously in the squad this time around. In middle of the field they went with Rudy, who's a solid holding midfielder, and Leon Goretzka as the attacking central midfielder.
But he's class.
He is class. What were they doing picking him on the right wing for that last game? That's not his position. Out in the wing, like,
remember the coach
you
mad?
You want him bombing right through the middle of teams. That's what he's good at. Lars Stindl, Julian Draxler. Stindl's a quality playmaker. Timo Werner was up front in that, and he was scoring. But the way they set up, Werner needs to get in behind teams. He's a pacey sort of, he's a pacey.
You can have that, right?
Werner's a pacey striker.
Yeah.
He's not a big target man. He's a guy who needs to get in behind. And they just...
He had a poor tournament too.
But like they were playing packed defences.
They didn't feed him.
They need to know how to beat packed defences. And you need to be able to pull teams out of place. What they did was they slowly moved the ball up the pitch. We've talked about the side-to-side passing over and over.
Yeah.
But if they moved the ball up the pitch with a bit of pace, got guys running at people, I mean, there's a certain Mr. Sané that's sitting at home in Manchester who can beat 2 and 3 men in one go, and he's so fast.
He won the Young Player of the Year. He's sitting at home polishing his trophy, wondering why he wasn't taken.
Oh, it's you could say it's
I'm
insane.
a fan. I'm biased.
It's
and
insane.
I was squealing for him to go. That's a bad joke. I still laughed at it though.
No, it's just look. There's an old saying in Donegal, right?
Go for it.
It's better looking at it than looking for it.
Absolutely.
Now, the coach may have thought that right then when he was picking the squad, he didn't need Sané.
I'm not going to play him all the time. I'll take him.
But it's better having him than not
Well,
having him.
is it? You know.
Like when he needed someone to come in and do something out of the ordinary. I mean, Julian Brandt had a couple of good shots, but did you see Julian Brandt run at one player?
No.
And even then, he barely played, 30 minutes over the 3 games? Because he was always coming on with 15 minutes to go.
I think it was
10 minutes to go.
22 minutes or something I played.
20,
what's the point?
Well, it's so silly by the coach, and he has to take the blame for it. The way he left the midfield...
It'll cost them.
What was interesting too is, you see the way they kept getting caught in the counter-attack?
Yeah.
And they were getting caught in the counter-attack against Korea too. South Korea. They were getting caught. The Republic of Korea. Right. Republic of Korea, if you want to get it really right. What was interesting about the centre halves is there was a gap between them and the midfield. But if you watch a team like Man City or a team even like Liverpool, say, hey, you know what? Even Man United, when they push up on a team that's sitting back, when you're pushing a team, where are the centre halves? Halfway line.
Yeah.
Because any clearance is not getting past them.
Exactly.
And your team is packed into a little night pile. For some reason, these centre halves, for a lot of the time, those counter-attacks were 10 yards further back, and there was a gap there in between the defence and the midfield, so that teams could play the ball out.
But Neuer was a sweeper keeper. They didn't have to even. They didn't have to be back there.
They didn't have it back there. You know, like I said, if they picked Ter Stegen's a very good sweeper keeper.
Neuer shouldn't have went. He went for the status.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if they didn't bring him, they could have brought Karius.
Yeah. Really? Karius? Do you know what? It was such a simple statement, you just saying Karius, but it just took me off guard, and I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or comment.
Let's be totally honest though. Germany could have brought 1 of 10 keepers, not including Karius.
But you put Karius now.
I just wanted to laugh.
In the one, okay, yeah, I laughed.
It was just a joke.
Yeah.
I didn't really think
Mission
Karius should be in the World Cup squad.
Mission accomplished.
I'm not sure he should be in the Liverpool squad.
Coach is gone though. He has to go.
Do you know he has a contract, and apparently the German FA said they'll let him decide. Oh, isn't that nice? Come on, what were you thinking?
They've already spoke to him. He says he's going to stand down afterwards, and they went, okay, I'll let him decide.
That kind of mutual stand down, as in you stand down to save face, or we sack you.
Yeah, and you'll no longer be a hero. He won the World Cup. They're going to save face. They're going to still treat him as a national treasure, but he fucked up.
It was just wasn't it? It was horrible.
So,
oh man, it was just. Have you any theories on what happened to Germany?
They fucked up. They took the team that basically they took the structure of a team that won it in 2014. Those players are past their prime. They've lost a step, and they've whooped teams for so long. When teams started coming at them and they weren't at their best, they fell apart. They were a wet paper bag. The only thing they had was the passing, but even that didn't work for them because they couldn't go nowhere with it.
But like, apart from Timo Werner and maybe occasionally Royce, but even Royce has been a central player these days.
Yeah. Because
these injuries have kind of robbed them of his pace. They had no pace. They had nobody kind of trying to beat players.
Plan A didn't work. Plan B didn't work. They had no plan C.
It was just constantly pass the ball, and they went like, even if you're going to try and outpass the team, at least pass it quick.
Yeah.
But everything was slow.
I think the reason I'm so disappointed and shocked by them is because I had high expectations that they would.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
Hey, what about now? Everyone, since France won the World Cup in '98, everyone except Brazil has not qualified out of the group.
The last 4 European winners.
The last 4 European winners.
France, Italy, Spain, and Germany have all crashed out in their defending campaigns in the group stage.
And I believe they finished bottom of their group each time.
Yeah, and that's the first time since before 1954 that Germany did not finish first or second at a major tournament.
It's also the first time that we can say that England are still in the tournament and Germany aren't.
They haven't got to fear the penalties of Germany.
They haven't got to face Germany.
So they haven't got that whole selling newspapers of the old enemy.
It's...
Let it go, England. It was like fucking 100 years ago.
It's shocking.
Get over it.
It's just shocking. The Germans are so bad, it's just so shocking.
I think that's everything we have to go through today.
As we can have a quick look here, it appears that England and Belgium, 20 minutes in, are 0-0. You think we're missing much?
No.
I mean, this is a contest to see who avoids Colombia.
By not winning?
Yeah, supposedly. You want to talk any more about England's chances in this World Cup? I mean, did you like Rio Ferdinand suggesting that they have nothing to worry about from any of the possible opponents?
I wonder, do you mean the possible opponents in this round? Rio, I love you, man, but...
You said that recently. You said that just the other day.
Did I?
Yeah. And you said it after the Panama game.
I don't know.
Look, we all know Rio was a good player. We
was.
Also know he wasn't always sharpest knife in the drawer.
I love Rio. I'm going to defend him, but I'm not going to defend that statement. Like, come on. In all honesty, is it going to be that...
It's the patriotism blinding him again.
Yeah, but is it going to be crash and burn, and then suddenly they go, right, we need a song to lift the nation, and then it's stop crying your heart out with fucking Oasis again, or you know, Even Noel Gallagher said himself once they released that song and the tournament was coming up, he goes, "No, this is it now." And then straight away, once they got knocked out, they were that song. You know, Noel Gallagher actually hits the song because of what they did.
It sounds like something Noel Gallagher would do.
Yeah.
Noel Gallagher thinks he's Irish too.
Top guy, I like him. I wouldn't mind going to beer one.
Noel or Liam?
Both separate nights though.
You wanna see? I think Liam Gallagher on Twitter. I think he follows like one person, but he has like 1 million followers. Obviously, millions of followers, not even 1 million. You know, let's give a specific here.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
If he's not saying you know what I mean, fucking every second sentence.
There you go. 0 followers. Oh, sorry, he is following 0 people, and he has 2.9 million followers.
And his tagline is "Rock and Roll Star." Well, I'll give it them. His album actually not bad. Wow, we're leaving a lot of airtime here because we're both looking at the phone.
Sorry, I'm gonna edit that out.
We're forgetting about.
Oh look, Noel Gallagher follows 4 people with 1 million followers.
That's like my ambition in life now, is to get Noel Gallagher to follow me on Twitter.
You
just torch the bastard to leaves it or accepts.
All right, let's do some shout outs. You got some shout outs? Some.
Do I?
Yeah. Godson?
Do I?
You said you were going to give a shout out to your Godson?
Oh yeah.
Do you have more than one Godson? Again,
no,
I edit this out.
No, I really don't. I'm just flustered though. Yeah, no, that's it. Dylan Nesbitt, unfortunately, he's inherited Spurs. So
that's okay.
No,
that's okay.
What have they won?
Who cares?
Do you know Spurs want Anthony Martial, and today they're giving out that United are looking far too much for him? Well, Spurs, tough fucking shit. He held us at ransom for Berbatov. When we went in for Bale, he's accepted 100 million for Madrid, but our price was 120. Daniel Levy, you can go and sit in this one, mate. Taste your own fucking medicine, just because he's built a stadium now and you just can't afford to buy anybody. Not that you pay the money anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry, that's a slight.
So that was an interesting shout out. Shout out to my brother Connor. Conzo.
What's up?
How you doing, son? Son, you're my brother. Connor, if you're listening to this at work, nice. Also, have you tested out the Dragon Ball Z mug? Got him a Dragon Ball Z mug for his birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool because when you put your tea in it and the mug heats up, you've got Goku in the front and he gets flames up around the outside of him.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That's pretty
Actually, cool. We should have a Twitter page going very, very shortly. So, yeah, I want a picture of that sent in from him.
Nice. In the meantime, if you want to get at me on Twitter, at Sean A.S. Patton.
I'm going home to watch the rest of this shambles of a game. Peace out, bitches.
We're out.
Hubble, Bubble, Boyle and Trouble. With me now is DB Daire Boyle. Daire, you're very, very, very welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's an honour to be on the show.
Now, full discretion, me and Daire have known each other a long time.
Too long.
Too long, yeah. That's the reason I state that I'm going grey on the sides, but sure.
I'm losing my hair, so it's alright.
One extreme to the next.
I'll not say what age I am for the followers.
No, I ain't stating that either. That's alright. So we'll keep you guessing, guys. So the crack is Daire is looking to come on as a podcaster along with ourselves. We're thinking between me and Daire anyway as being wrestling fans.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big time hell yeah. It's going to be able to crack a chat about it. We do spend a lot of time chatting about it.
A lot of old memories, bit of nostalgia. Talk about the old days, the Hell in a Cells, the old WrestleManias, stuff like that.
Attitude Era.
Oh, definitely.
Still have the bedspreads. So yeah, we're thinking we'll throw a podcast together. We chat shite all the time anyway, so might as well record it while we're doing it. You know, a bit of fun. So we're throwing together ideas and names, and well, we'll agree on something eventually, and it's in the pipeline. It's the next project. On to the topic at hand, World Cup. Daire, how are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. I thought at the start that all the good teams were doing bad. I thought, oh no, this is going to be something similar to the 2014 World Cup. But now I'm kind of happy because there's been a few upsets, which is good for a neutral, and it's God knows who could win it at this stage. I'm still hoping myself that Brazil would win it, but there's so many things happen. I don't think anyone expected what happened yesterday with Germany. So
no, yesterday Germany crashed out in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, affected my sweepstake as well. I organised a sweepstake. I got Germany. It looked like a fix, but I didn't fix it. I can state for the record I didn't fix it, but it looks like, it looked like a fix. But I'm off the hook now.
You're off the hook big time.
Yeah.
Germany crashed out, losing 2-0 to South Korea. It was shocking.
Yeah.
They have to be the worst team on it at the moment. Even Panama showed signs of brilliance.
To be honest, whenever they beat Sweden 2-1 with that Toni Kroos goal, I thought, that's them back in it. They're, it's those kind of goals last minute, they kind of spur the team on, but they didn't seem I didn't see the match myself. I seen the highlights, but they just didn't show any fight at all by the sound of things. And when you're at that stage, when you're the world champions, you need to show up, but they didn't.
No, far from it. And that game against Sweden was the only game that Mesut Ozil didn't start.
Coincidence there.
Coincidence is right.
I don't think so.
I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah, to be honest, there's a lot of ones in the German team that I think I think they're big names, but they haven't been in great form recently. And how they don't. I know me and you United fans, but
yes.
the fact they didn't have Sané in the team was an absolute farce. Fair enough, Julian Brandt's had a good season, but what Sané did with City was just next level.
I think City would have won the league regardless, but I don't think they would have won it by the margin if they didn't have Sané's.
No, for such a young lad, he's a good finisher. I can't remember, it was 10 plus goals he's got anyway, and he's young player of the season as well, which can't be understated. So,
but it was overlooked.
It was, and
costly.
Marco Reus, he's a track record of injuries, and he didn't really deliver. Fair enough, he scored in the game. He had a few good chances against Sweden, but the team as a whole just didn't really deliver.
Without taking the glass off his goal, I think I could have scored that.
No, Jesus, just
bounce off the leg,
you still have to be there to score them, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. What teams impressed you the most?
Well, the teams that impressed me the most haven't really been, the teams you'd expect to be winning. Croatia, they've got 9 points? 9 points from 9.
I agree. They impressed me.
Yeah, that Argentina game was next level stuff. Fair enough. Argentina aren't the same Argentina that we know, but they did very well. What other teams? I don't like to say it, but England have done pretty well as well.
Who have they played though?
Fair enough. They have played Panama and Tunisia, but you can only do with what's in front of you. And I just think Gareth Southgate knows the job he has in hand. He knows he doesn't have the best pool of players. There's no Lampards, Gerrards, Scholes, John Terry's, Rio Ferdinands. He knows that it's not the most talented bunch, but he's made a system that's good. He's come through the FA. He knows how to get the best out of them. And to be honest, tonight I wouldn't be surprised if they got something against Belgium, because Belgium are on about resting players.
They need to. They're carrying a couple of injuries. Notably Lukaku and Hazard as well, I think.
I had Lukaku top goal scorer as well, and I hope it's only today he's out anyway. 4 goals.
He's there. Kane's leading the charge of 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I like Southgate. I like the way he approached the World Cup. There wasn't this usual aura of England the best team on it. They're going to win it. They're world champions to be.
But now after the Panama game, it's coming home.
Exactly.
But
the wheels are coming off that bus, and now it's there you go.
I've been very impressed by their set piece. That's one thing. The John Stone's second goal the last day, it was just a training ground move. Fair enough, I think Raheem Sterling was meant to finish it, but
you could see it.
Yeah, it's good, and it's just that kind of.
I will give them that.
Brilliance. Yeah.
Although it was Panama, I will give them that. It was a great work goal.
Any other teams in pressure?
Me, Croatia was the biggest one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did enjoy. I found myself being a an Iran supporter against Portugal a couple of nights ago. The penalty they got, I didn't think they should have got, because actually now we're on the topic. VAR. That's what I want. That's what I want to talk about.
Let's talk about VAR.
What do you think?
To be honest, in the lead up to it, I was a bit apprehensive because we've seen it a few times in the FA Cup. For us, I think we only got affected. United, we got affected with Mata's goal against Huddersfield or something. He was a knee offside and the goal wasn't given.
That's right.
We still won the game, but I think the biggest case was West Brom against Liverpool. They were completely. That game was just a farce in terms of. Sorry, it was a farce. I'd probably stolen that joke off someone I've heard, but it was terrible. I think he used it 2 or 3 times, but it just slowed the game down so much. So I was kind of a bit apprehensive about the speed of it, how it would be worked and all. But I have been impressed with it. The only decision that they didn't get right was that Iran-Portugal one. I found there might be a few other cases, but just thinking off memory of the games that I've seen. We're 14 days into the World Cup. There's been so many games, so many penalties given because of it.
A lot of penalties.
But overall, I think it's been good. It's been tested in leagues like Italy, Portugal,
Germany.
I'm not 100% sure. I just know Italy.
Was it the Bundesliga this year?
I just know Italy anyway because I was over at an Inter Milan game when my brother was in Milan on Erasmus. I was at an Inter Milan game.
Who was playing?
Hellas Verona, I think, and I was on the ultra stand. And next question, please. It was grand. I thought it was. I didn't do anything, but I thought I was going to get killed. There were some scary men in there. Something you'd see out of Football Factory or Green Street.
They really are hardcore, and you've seen that firsthand. Tattoos
in their eyes, tattoos anywhere you can imagine. The Italian version of Stone Island. But anyway, back to the point about VAR. I've been very impressed how it's been. As a whole, fair enough, they're not getting everything. I was listening to the commentary for Senegal and Colombia, and apparently they got it really right. Otherwise, it would have been a penalty. But it was literally just a clash of things, and the ref was right to give it. From what I heard, I haven't seen the game. It's only half. What is it? It's about 10 to 6 here. Game's only finishing. I was too busy at hand, but I was listening to it.
You're working hard.
Or hardly working. You decide.
Don't leave it with me. You know what I'm going to say? Sorry. We worked together before.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for another show.
We could do a lot of shows on that.
Definitely.
VAR, to me, the whole purpose was to get the decisions right that they weren't catching.
Yeah.
I don't feel that it's consistent yet. I'm going to cite the Portugal-Iran game.
Yeah.
There's 2 incidents there straight away, which was, to me, Iran's penalty wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
And an argument I will have with Sean very shortly. The Ronaldo incident.
The send off. Yeah.
To me, he should have walked.
Yeah. The one thing I do find is that there's it depends on what constitutes a penalty. Like if someone hands the ball, fair enough. Like me and you might look at it. It's just it's a soft penalty, but by letter of the law, it is a penalty.
Yeah.
So it just depends really what the ref's thinking. It is really down to what constitutes a red card, what constitutes a penalty. There's so many different things. It could be such a small thing, but yeah, I didn't agree with the Iran-Portugal one. But look, I do think that it's all right as long as it doesn't impact the big games now, because we're getting to that stage now.
We're getting to the business end of it.
Yeah.
To me, it was ball came off his head, hit his arm, and it was a penalty.
Yeah.
The night after, ball came off Rocco's head, hit his arm, and it wasn't a penalty.
No, I know that. I was fully expecting.
Yeah.
Whenever I seen the ref run into the thing, I'm like, oh, they're going to ruin this game here. I didn't see the Iran-Portugal game at the time because I was watching Spain and Morocco.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything from Iran and Portugal at that time.
Iran really went for it.
Yeah.
They nearly had it.
Do you know what? One thing about the World Cup as well, these last round of games, you're expecting all the teams that have gone out not to put up a fight, but they really have. Morocco's put up a fight, Peru.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, I don't think anyone's expecting Egypt to have 0 points. And even today, Poland beating Japan, that could have been something.
I think Egypt expected a lot more, the fact that they have Salah on the ranks after the season he's had. But sure, look, he's used to finishing 4th and 1-0.
Yeah.
Bada boom.
Where's Sean?
Where's Sean?
Yeah, I do find that it's men and boys that Egypt team. They have a few, like El Nene. He's all right. Like, he's nothing major. But Salah, he was going into the World Cup not fit either. So there was a bit of rustiness about that. It's been shown time from time, players going into World Cup not fit, and they just haven't delivered on the main stage.
Actually, there's another point now that you bring up Salah. Your point of view, Champions League final, Ramos taking him down, him getting injured. Did Ramos intentionally mean to injure him?
I don't know. Like, it looked like such an armbar. Like it looked like a proper UFC style Royce Gracie kind of armbar, but or Ronda Rousey, whoever does them.
Did he mean they hurt him, or did he mean they just bring him down?
I think he just meant to bring him down to the ground. Be a bit of a shithouse, but I don't think he meant to like do what he did to him. Like, I don't know.
Daire, welcome to the club.
Yeah. There's no here. I could be supporting United. I could be supporting Liverpool. I have to look at it as a realist. Fair enough. He got his arm in a thing, but only he could answer that question, and he'll be on the show next week to tell us when Spain go out to Croatia.
And then we're going on the beer.
Yeah. Jeez, I wouldn't want to be in the beer with him. He'd probably fucking headbutt us.
I'd be like in an octagon, knocking lumps.
And then he'll try and get us in an armbar then. I'll do to you what I meant to do to Salah.
Well, Daire, cheers for coming on for the brief stint. You and I will be back.
I'll be back.
Watch the spot.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Daire. Thanks.